Hello and welcome to the final IFSC Bouldering World Cup of 2013, and what a year it has been for bouldering. We have held competitions on 3 different continents, starting off in Chongqing before moving over into Europe for Millau, Kitzbühel and Innsbruck, and then across the waters again into the Americas for Toronto and for Vail. We are now back in Europe, here in Munich, yet again at the Olympic Stadium, built in 1972 for the Olympic Games. It was opened on the 26th of May with an original seating capacity of 80,000 people. Now, 41 years later, it still has an overall capacity of 69,250. It has held the World Cup in football in 1974 and also played host to a multitude of different music concerts, including Madonna, Nickelback and Michael Jackson. Last year, we saw 6,000 people crammed into the space in front of the wall, desperate for a glimpse of our finalists. And it was a close one as well, with the final podium in the men's being divided by attempts on a bonus. Now, at this stage of the year, it is all about the overall World Cup rankings. And whilst the gold medals in both the men's and the women's have already gone to 2 of our athletes, that is Dmitry Sharafutinov of Russia in the men's and Anna Stor of Austria in the women's, the silver and the bronze medals are still all to play for, with a wide open field still in the men's and still quite a few opportunities in the women's. It's going to be exciting. Welcome to Munich, welcome to the Olympic Stadium, and welcome to the final IFSC Bouldering World Cup of 2013. For the women's then, it is not just the overall honour of winning the World Cup here in Munich, there is also the overall World Cup rankings up for grabs. And that gets very, very interesting as we move into this last World Cup in the bouldering season here in Munich. Anna Stor, as I mentioned, has already secured the gold medal after this year with 200 points lead on the second place position, which is currently Akio Noguchi. Now that's due to the incredible run of gold medals that Anna Stor has had this year. Akio Noguchi is in second place at the moment, and that will stay the same as long as Akio makes finals here. If Akio makes finals, that silver medal position is hers. It is the bronze medal where the interesting things start to happen. We currently have a 3-point difference between Shauna Coxey, who is currently in third place, and Alex Puccio, who's only 3 points behind her, meaning that whichever of those 2 athletes beats the other one here at this competition should secure the bronze medal. There is also the outside chance that Jule Worm of Germany is able to snatch that bronze medal away from those 2 athletes, but the only way that she can do that is if Jule Worm wins the overall competition here and both Alex Puccio and Shauna Coxey have a really terrible time struggling in the qualifications. That is the only chance for Jule Worm, but it is an outside chance and it is a possibility. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be exciting. Let's kick things off with the qualification round here in Munich for the female athletes. Well, here we are. I'm hoping that all of you have had a nice little bit of a break, got yourself some food, some lunch, some drinks, and you're ready and waiting, sitting back as we're about to start with the female athletes here for the qualification stage. Here is qualification Group A, smaller groups at this stage than we had with the men's athletes. There are 27 female athletes in Group A. There are 28 female athletes in Group B. This is Group A that you're looking at now. So Anna Stor's kicking things off for us. It's Julianne Worm, Shauna Coxey, Monica Recci, moving down to Mina Markovic, Petra Klingler. We've got some big names here turning up for the last World Cup of the season. And this is Group A you're looking at now, the starting order for them. So a total of 55 female athletes all in all. And 5 minutes until we begin with them coming out to start off on the wall. So moving down onto this one, you've got Patricia Holzmann there. She is the last athlete in Group 1. So Anna Stor is the first, and Patricia Holzmann, as we've just seen, is the last athlete in that group. And then moving over onto the other group then. And here we are, Akio Noguchi starting things off for us here. Alex Puccio, Melissa Leneve, Katarina Salvine, Melanie Sandoz, our current world champion in bouldering, Leah Crane, Aya Inoue, Cecilia Lavizu and Jana Cherishneva just on the first page there. What an opening for you. And here we are on page 2, Jenny Levada, Margot Puccio, Megan Martin for USA, Anna Tarippa, Fanny Gibbert, Andrea Ebner, Valerie Kramer, Jill Peet and Risa Ota. This is just page 2. Page 3 here. Obviously German has the larger contingent of athletes as they are the home ground for them, and all the way down to the bottom there. One more athlete after that is Mona Kellner of Germany. There she is. So yes, obviously they have more at this competition here. So this is the Group B setup. On the wall, these are the problems that they're going to be facing here, set by Mano Hassler, our chief route setter. Welcome back if you are joining us. Get in touch with us via Twitter, as always, using the hashtag IFSCWC. Here to answer any questions you might have. Get involved in a little bit of a chat as we move through our qualification rounds. Not long now before we bring out our first athletes, Anna Storr and Akio Noguchi. So get yourselves ready, get settled in, and welcome back to Munich.
Deswegen ist er auch kostenloser Eintritt für euch alle. Ihr könnt hier alle zuschauen, könnt alle beileben mit diesem geilen Event hier. Diese tolle.
Just a brief glimpse of the wall here for you then as well. On the B group.
Spektakulär und macht richtig viel Spaß. Ja, jetzt haben wir noch 1,5 Minuten, jetzt geht's noch gleich los, Fabian. Dann feuern wir hier alle zusammen an, die besten heute früh um 10.
And here's the A wall. Not much changed on that one at the very end there, A1. Although it was A5 earlier for the men's, it's still the slab problem and still not many holds on that one. So people getting in touch already on the Twitter then. Mark Glennie saying really excited to see the boulders and how Shauna Coxey gets on today. The IFSC. Roughly a minute now before we bring out our first two athletes. Anna Storr, obviously with the incredible season she's had so far, will be going home with the gold medal for the overall here. Is it possible that she could be taking home the gold medal for the World Cup as well? We are about to find out. Also, Akio Noguchi looks pretty secure in the silver medal position. We wait to see how she gets on as we move through this competition with her. As long as she makes finals, Akio, then she will be going home with the silver medal for the overall categories as well. And as I did earlier with the men's qualification round, we will also be speaking to Graham Alderson a little bit later on, who's our technical delegate here, about the rankings as they stand at the moment and what our athletes need to do to be able to secure the overall medals. So I'll be talking to Graham a little bit later on when we get into this competition.
The circuit climbing getting in touch with us as well, saying setting in for some late night Boulder World Cup action from the other side of the planet. This is going to hurt in the morning. So it must be a crazy time now over where you guys are. I believe you're all in Oz. What crazy time is it now in Oz? Let us know, get in touch with us on Twitter. Anyone wants to get involved in the chat, we do so through the hashtag IFSCWC. So Anna Storr starting off with the slab here, and Akio Noguchi moving up the arete over on B1 now. Quick pop-up for the bonus here. Now we should see quite a few of our athletes here just flying through these blocks at the beginning. These are the highest ranked athletes that come out first. There's an easy top there for Akio Noguchi. See Anna there just cleaning that volume already here. And she's first out, so that will have been cleaned before she came out. Doesn't look too happy with it at all for this this volume. Now the way we saw the men getting up to this first stage earlier on was to just mantle straight away on that kite-shaped, the stretched diamond-shaped volume by the start that you can see there. And that's maybe what she needs to do again here. Now the arete isn't black tape, so there's a possibility that they can use that as well, if it helps. The other side is black tape, you can see there. Not the lean out, but the other side, but the arete isn't. Anna just wants to go straight up for that one. She's got 2 minutes left on her clock now. Strange to see our Anna Storr struggling from the start. So Anna Storr sitting down. Now the only one this year that Anna hasn't come first at was Innsbruck, her hometown, where Jule Worm actually took the gold medal. Anna's had a gold medal at every single other IFSC event this year. Chongqing, Millau, then Logdragomer, Kitzbühel, not Innsbruck, but then Toronto and Vale as well, and now she's here in Munich. Do we think it's going to happen again? Answers on the back of a postcard or in form of Twitter by using the hashtag IFSCWC. Will we see another gold for Anna? It would be payback against Jule Worm, as Jule Worm took the gold away from her in her hometown. See the same thing happening here with Anna Storr taking it away from Jule. And next two athletes then, Jule Worm and Alex Puccio. Anna Storr with no top there, Noguchi coming out with a very, very quick top on B1. And now we have Jule Worm out on A1 for the slab, and Puccio on B1. I think Puccio's kind of lucked out a little bit here because she hates slabs. And Alex doesn't have one on the B run. Must be saving it for the semis. Here's Jule starting things off here for us now for Germany. Quick top again on B1, wasting no time over there. Jule taking her time on the slab. Now, do we think with the bonus hold, where she's going up there with the right hand and then just trying to go straight up for the top, that maybe they need to match there, possibly move into like a Gaston position with the left hand and then lean out to the wall? What do we think about that? Rocking over that right leg that you can see on the lower blue hold. Now, that would allow them to stand up gradually towards the top, because there's two pockets at the very top there on A1. You've got to be really accurate if you're going for it with the pop like Jule's doing at the moment. What do we think? Have we seen anyone getting the beta down for this one yet? Interesting tactic, and from here I can't quite tell whether there is actually a hold there or whether she was smearing. I believe there might be a tiny little pinhole just in between the diamond and the yep, she's cleaning it there. Look, there is a very, very small blue hole there to allow you to get a little bit further up before pushing for the top. We wait to see what happens now. One minute roughly still left for her, so she could possibly get 2 more attempts in here if this one doesn't come through. Here we are again then. Oh, and a slip there. 23 seconds left. Jule's calling it there. So no top still on A1. 2 tops straight away on B1. Interesting start. Anna back out then, and she's going to have to pick up a game here now, over on A2. Our 2 new athletes out, Melissa Leneve and Shauna Coxey for Great Britain. So now we go into quad screen for you. Shauna and Melissa on the first route, the first block on each of theirs. So Shauna on A1, you can see here in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Well, in fact, both bottom. pitches there, and both the top ones for the two girls at the very top. Shauna trying a hand at the slope, the slab here. Crowd right behind her as well. So Melissa on B1. Drop knee there, moving up the arete, hand on the bonus. One move away from the top here. Very nicely done. Anna Storr taking her time here, trying to decide how she's going to get across to that bridge. Very close, not quite enough. That is a big stretch. Akia with another attempt, as Shauna. Here we go with Shauna then. Can she be the first person to top A1 for us? That was very controlled. But I'm still wondering whether they need to swap hands on that bonus hold. Rely there on their feet a little bit more and then switch hands on that bonus hold to go up with the right as opposed to the left. Anna Storr still on the ground, as is Shauna Coxey. 1 minute 20 roughly left on the clock. Kia Noguchi fighting again. Nearly manages to get a permanent perch there on the bonus hold, but not quite. When she gets that, I think she'll go up pretty quick from there. She's just got to get her heel up onto that volume just next to her. And Anna makes the lean out. Now she switches to her hand. Now how is she going to get up from here then? Very nicely done. This could be a top here for Anna. Racing into the corner. 40 seconds left. Very close, but not enough. Akia Noguchi with the top as well. Anna Storr taking her slip and leaving by the look of things. Whatever happens here for her, she's still going home with a medal. Due to the overall, we wait and see. Monica Recci now out climbing next to Jule Worm. Well, let's see how Jule gets on then with this one on A2. Monica Recchi climbing next to her over on A1 at the moment. Relatively good season so far this year. She made it through into the finals in Chongqing, Monica Recchi, and she's made semi-finals at every event that she's competed at. Quite low on the semi-final list though. She needs to come within the top 10 here. Jule Worm very, very quick to get up onto that upper section of A2 that Anna Storr struggled with. And there it is, Jule Worm securing the top there on A2. Nicely done, shooting her into the lead. Puccio over on B2. She should be able to make this next move. There it is. She's got the power to do this and then levering herself up over the top of the side mantle here. It's incredibly uncomfortable, but there we are, switching towards the palm, and there's the top. Monica Recchi then over on A1. Still no tops on this one. Well, here we are, still with Monica Recchi. 1 minute 20 left on the clock for her to use here. Still no tops on this one. And we get ready for another attempt here. With 30 seconds, it looks like Recchi's calling it a day there. We get ready to bring out our next two athletes, which will be Mina Markovic and Katarina Sarvine. In a moment, as I mentioned, I'll be talking to Mr. Graham Alderson, our technical delegate with the IFSC, about the overall World Cup rankings, what they mean, and so on and so forth, and what we're looking at towards the podiums here. I mentioned a little bit in the start, but for those hardcore veterans amongst you who want to know exactly how that all works, we'll be talking about that in a short while. For now, though, we move back onto the wall, and our next two athletes. Oh, do apologise, it's Melanie Sandoz up next on B1. Let's see how Mina gets on with A1 now. Mina Markovic. Anna still with no tops. 3 more left to do. A3 looking very interesting, moving through the roof section this time. The route setters didn't use the roof during the men's qualifications earlier today. Jule Worm made very quick work out of A2. Is Shauna going to be able to do the same? She wants a brush. Melanie Sandos finishing up on B1. Already Anna Storr clinging to this roof section, can't quite hold it. She doesn't look particularly relaxed at the moment either. This is the 3rd one that she's moving on to, the 3rd block. She's struggling to start this one. Noguchi working away on B3 as Shauna Coxey makes that bridge. She's got the lean out there now. B3 then, Akio Noguchi with this start here. It looks like you're doing what the men were trying to do in on number 3 during the men's qualifications here. You've got to lever yourself in between those 2 pyramids, the small green one and the large orange. But then you've got this advantage now of having this massive bonus hold in front of you, just up above with the sloper. Once you've got your hands on that, I'm assuming that they'll probably match there before bringing their feet up on top of one of the volumes. A top there for Shauna Coxey. Once their feet are up as well, they've got another couple of holds up above that before quite a positive top. The green top up there as well. Anna Storr sitting down on the ground with 1 minute 50 left to go, still no tops, and she's on problem 3. She doesn't necessarily have to be in the semis or the finals to take home a gold medal here. Not the World Cup medal, but the overall World Cup ranking will go to her by a whole 200 points. It will be a very disappointing way to end her season, though, if she doesn't at least make the final. She's 200 points ahead of all the other athletes. Very close there for Mina Markovic, and she's just slipped at the last moment. Yes, it will be disappointing if Anna Storr doesn't make finals. Not a great way to end your season when you win overall. Change of technique here now to one of the claws. This is good. She's in a good position here. Strike up with the right. She's going up with the left. Then the right. Still on an overhung section here. She's got not really anywhere to get a foot on, so she's going to keep going for it, and she does. Manages to match to the top, and Anna Storr gets her very first top. With 25 seconds of her 5 minutes left to go, though, cutting it fine. A top for Akio Noguchi here on B3. Markovic close here, inching up, and the surprise, I think, of this 5-second countdown just brought her off the wall there. You can see there really isn't much of anything to go on over there. Our next athlete is Petra Klingler, out to try A1, and over on B1 we have Leah Crane of Great Britain, previous British bouldering champion. Has done pretty well throughout the season this year. just missed out on a final in Miol. Was world ranked 41st in 2011. The highest result on the IFSC circuit before reboosting her career this year was 11th at the Bouldering World Cup in Sheffield in 2011. But it is now 7th after Miol. She's been climbing since she was 6 years old and won the British Bouldering Championships in 2009 in Sheffield. Right behind Eula Verm. She looked like she was going to try the arete for a bit there. She's gone up with the right, but it does look a little bit more awkward than going up with the left. I think Anna was right to go up with the left there from that bonus claw that Eula just reached. Can match after that. Top there for Puccio. Monica Recchi managing the bridge here, moving away into the corner of A2. How's everyone doing then? Where are you joining us from? Let us know how it is where you are and what you're looking forward to as we move through this competition. Who are you looking forward to seeing? Who are you rooting for? You can get in touch with us on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC. Top there for Monica Recchi. Klingler moving up to the bonus and stepping over to the higher section of the slab wall there with a lot of confidence. Just lost it as she went towards the top. Eula yet again using that different approach that we saw from Anna Storr. Managing to hold the right this time to go up with the left, and one hand on the top, two hands on the top. Eula Verm looking very, very strong here at this early stage in the competition. Fantastic start there for her, leading her category. Eula Verm in front of the home crowd. Here we have Katja Salvine over on B2. And Petra Klingler still working away on A1. Seems just at that very last point it's costing these athletes a top on A1. Are we going to see a top on A1? That's what I want to pitch to you guys now. Do you think we're going to see one? And if we are, who do you think it might be? The BMC have very kindly posted on Twitter a link for you there saying the men's qualification full results and scores from this morning's session are there. So on Twitter there for you now from BMC, British Mountaineering Council. Thank you very much for that. You can find it on there, guys. Katja, one hand on the top, two hands. Katharina Salvine with the top there for Austria. Very nicely done. Petra Klingler. Another attempt to 10 seconds left on the clock. She's going to have to be very, very quick here if she wants to have a chance of getting there. So, people that could potentially do this. Having a look at Group 1 for the women. Now, height will be an advantage here on A1. So that's something to bear in mind as we move through. And also, balance-based climbers could have a good attempt at it as well. So, it's a possibility of Vera Zelistra doing relatively well. Katerina Andreeva as well. Just looking down the rest of the group here. It's going to be very tough for Anne-Laure Chevrier. She's very short, Anne-Laure.
haben sich von Weltcup zu Weltcup geschlängelt und immer wieder viele Feldgebiete besucht.
It's going to be interesting as we move through this one. Our next athlete out then is Anna Galiamova. Mina Markovic moves on to A2. Anna Stor, though, sticking that dyno very easily, and another top there for her on A4. Very nicely done. Okay, so Shauna Coxey, fantastic performance there from her as well. We now have over on B1 at present, Aya Noe, made finals this year. She was over at the World Youth Championships just recently as well, still competing on the youth circuit. Very nice from Akio Noguchi here. Maybe got to the higher pinch first. She's going to go underneath for the bonus by the look of things here. Yep, there it is. Switching her feet. Very nice little bit of technical climbing here on B4. What a great little block. What a nice little block that's turned out to be. Keep my eye on that one, B4, as we go through. We've seen those Germany flag holds before. They were here last year. Anna Stor obviously pretty used to them. Very nice top there as well for Melissa Leneve. So it's now starting to get a little bit interesting. Anna Stor with 2 tops in 5 attempts. And she's been bested so far by Jule Worm and Shauna Coxey, who still haven't climbed the same amount of attempts as Anna Stor. Is Anna going to make it through into the semi-finals at this stage? We wait to see. I've just had a very driven Graham Alderson coming up to approach the desk and say, hang on, the first people to establish the flag holds were actually over in Sheffield using the red, white and blue, and you said that the French there, Graham, were trying to claim them for their own because they were red, white and blue.
Yeah, there was an England-France rugby match on that day and they beat us, so they claimed it was the tricolour. We let them have it though because we won the competition.
And apparently if you go in with your own flag over this weekend at the Climbing Works in Sheffield, it's free entry. Just to let all of you know about that one as well. So here we are, Anne Chevrier now out on A1. And over on B1, Cecilia Vezu, a teammate. Akio Noguchi looking very good here. 4 tops so far. She's still got another climb yet to come. Alex Pucci out here now on B5. Monica Recchi, there's a huge support flag behind me at the moment from her family, I believe. This massive banner. It says Alf gets money. Big jump there for Julia Verm, and nicely done. There it is, another top there for Julia Verm. Monica Recchi, one move away from the top herself. Oh, just slipping off there. She's still got plenty of time though, 2 minutes 40 left on the clock. Loads of time left for another few attempts at that one. So 2 minutes left on the clocks now. Monica Recchi's back on the ground. Anne-Laure Chevrier now with another attempt over on A1. Katarina Salvine going up on B3. Oh, a little bit of a slip there as she's trying to start. According to the IFSC rules as well then, an attempt will be deemed to have started when all parts of the athlete's body have left the ground. That's what it says on the IFSC rules. So that would have cost her one there. If you are new to the sport, just to give you an update on it then, it is the most amount of tops in the least amount of attempts. The most amount of tops in the least amount of attempts. So at the current present moment in time, we have Julia Verm at the top of her group with 3 tops in 6 attempts, 4 bonuses in 6. Now the bonus is there to help divide a tie. If 2 athletes have, say, done 4 in 6 and 4 in 6, or in this case 3 in 6 and 3 in 6, then their bonus attempts should divide them. If not, then we go to count back to a previous round. We can't do that here as we have 2 separate groups. It is just the finals will be able to go to count back for the semi-finals. And I'll explain that a little bit more as we move towards the semi-finals tomorrow as well. Whilst we are watching these athletes and getting ready for a new rotation, as I promised, I'm just going to have a brief conversation to our IFSC technical delegate here, Mr. Graham Alderson, about the World Cup rankings and the potential of what can happen on the overall World Cup rankings here for the podium at the end of the year. Graham, how are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad, Dan, and yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Well, we talked about the men this morning, and that's obviously incredibly complicated with 5 billion permutations, although the permutations have gone down with Jorgen Gigi not qualifying for the semi-final. But we'll go through that in detail tomorrow when we've got the results all worked out, and we can tell you what the less numerous permutations are. But looking at the women, well, Anna's won. End of. She'd won before the last round, effectively. So it's all up for grabs for 2nd and 3rd place. In pole position for 2nd is Akio Noguchi. Akio, because the scoring works, if you do all 8 of the events, you're allowed to drop 1 score. So that means Akio can drop her worst score, which is 55 points. So her carried over score at the moment is 425. Shauna's carried over score is 361. Alex's is 358. And with an outside chance of podiuming in the overall World Cup is Hula, who's on 278. But for her to do that, both Shauna and Alex would have to have a nightmare, and Hula would have to win. So I think it's realistically, Akio, if she gets to the final, is guaranteed 2nd place because she gets 47 points and she can't be overhauled. So the big battle is between Shauna and Alex. There are only 3 points between them. So effectively, it's winner takes all between those two. No matter what happens, unless they both do really badly, whoever wins between those two today takes the bronze medal for the overall Bouldering World Cup 2013.
Now, in terms of the possibility of taking the silver medal away from Akio, that would mean that Akio has to not make finals, is that right?
Yes, and either Shauna or Alex has to win. So if Shauna and Alex don't win, and Akio gets close to the finals, she's got the silver. So the only way Akio can not get the silver is if she is not in the final and Shauna wins or Alex wins.
And in terms of these numbers that we're throwing out there now, that is because you take the lowest score from the overall events. If they have participated in every IFSC Bouldering World Cup, you take the lowest score and you minus it over their overall score.
Yeah, or you could just think of it that if you didn't attend an event, for example, Killian didn't attend China, so you can think he has a 0 for China. So obviously that's his lowest score. So yeah, you take off the lowest score. So if you have eight scores, then effectively you are losing points. Of course, you only have 7 scores, you're not losing anything. You're losing 0.
So I suppose it could actually be tactical to not actually go to an event during the year, as you would then only take away nothing, as opposed to, say, you did quite well, quite a bit.
Yeah, but these guys are all potential winners, so they're not going to risk losing 100 points just to not lose a few points. Yeah, they'd rather win, like Anna. Anna's gone out there, won every round, and yeah, it doesn't matter what happens today. So no, I don't think that's a tactical option. I think it's more about, I mean, other tactics may be saving the travel time and the energy, or you might have other things on, or money even, if you're, if you can't afford to go to somewhere like China. But I don't think it's a tactic in the way that you just said. But an interesting concept.
It's a very nice way of telling me to shut up, Graham. Thank you for that.
I'm a nice guy, sometimes.
So we're going to have a talk through the men's tomorrow during the semi-finals, the men's and the women's tomorrow, because then we'll know what's going on with the women's at present as well. But the men's, a lot of changes there as well after the qualifications, and we're going to talk more tomorrow.
Yeah. With Gigi and Job not qualifying for the semi-final, obviously we know their maximum point score, and we also know the minimum point score for the other guys, because they're a guaranteed minimum 20th place. They obviously get a minimum number of points for that. So we can give you more information in the morning.
Great, Graham. Thank you very much for talking to us. I'm going to let you go and return to your manic job.
At the moment, it's quite calm, but when one of the problems that we have at the moment, and we'll solve this for tomorrow, is for the live scores. The router's not been placed high enough. So because we have a really big crowd for qualification, these bodies are getting in the way of the wireless. So the live scores are a bit slow and sometimes aren't being sent through. So that's my main task at the moment, but we'll solve that one tonight and put the router higher.
There you are, guys. That's for the semi-finals. Trying to work out all the kinks. Graham's main job here is whenever anything goes wrong, it's his fault and he has to fix it. That's the way it works, right?
I think that's how it works, yeah. Well, that's what I try and do.
Thank you, Graham. We'll talk to you tomorrow. So, Akio Noguchi then, 5 tops. Unstoppable on her first start here. Still a few athletes still yet to come out. We've got a load of very big names still coming. Shauna Coxey, 3 tops in 4 attempts so far then. Eula Verm still 3 tops in 6, so Shauna currently leading overall. And Anna Storr already down into 3rd place. Just waiting to see what's happening here. Marku Lane, as the crowd getting behind both of our German athletes here. We are the Julia Worm over the top there on A5. One more hand. Going for a heel hook. There it is, top left, Monica Recchi. What a show the Germans are putting on for us. Marku Lane saying the bigger problem is that the IDs on the walls would help viewers to spot them if they're a bit bigger when watching the live stream on a small screen like laptop. Well, Marku, if you look at the names on your screen at the moment, hopefully they should be pretty clear. And just next to the names, you've got B4, B2, you've got all the Bs there at the top. Look, just on the left-hand side, little ident we've put in there for you. Mike, the producers, put them all out so you can see who's on what wall. So if you can't quite see them on the screen, it's there just next to the names for you as well. So we have Vera Zilistra here over on A1. Let's see how she gets some of this one. Leah Crane here, right up on the higher section of B3. She's got to figure out what she's doing with her hands here, though. Nice, just seeing into it a little bit more. Quite a positive finish here. She just got to go for it. There you go. At the same time as Petra Klingler does the exact same thing over on A3. Very nicely done. Zilistra then on A1 using the same tactic as Monica Recchi here. And that is one that I'm a little bit unsure of in general. Basically what she's doing there, she's got her left hand over on one of the posters that is up on the wall, and she's using the edge of it. It's quite a thick poster, and so she's pulling on that to keep her on the wall at the moment, whereas the rules state if it isn't black taped you can use it. So what that should have been then is that actually that poster should have been moved just out of reach so that the athletes can't use it, unless it is an intentional thing by the route setters, I'm not sure. But you can see how they're just using a poster to help her pull herself up on the wall. I'm not sure I agree with that one. There we are. As you can see there in the bottom right-hand corner, a bunch of people just walking along the roof here. It's one of the things that they do at the venue. You can go right the way up and around, walking all over this huge glass roof. And there's a zip wire as well that goes straight the way across the football pitch and the arena just below us also as well. You need to get involved with it if you're down here at the venue and you want to fancy giving that a try, or if you can make it down to the venue at least. Venue has been here for 40 years, so I'm sure you've got plenty of time still to come down if you get round here into Munich.
Ja, Fabi, morgen wird es regnen. Ist ja angekündigt. Nein, es regnet nicht. Ich habe gerade noch mal gecheckt, es wird morgen so 23 Grad und trocken. Ja, ist perfekt. Also hier ist es trocken. Und es ist trotzdem hier noch was so heiß, dass hier 30 Grad gewesen sein werden. Also ihr dürft alle morgen wiederkommen, weil im Berg ist morgen eh schlechtes Wetter. Morgen, wenn ihr die 20 Besten um den Einzug ins Finale kämpfen und dann natürlich die 6 Besten um den Sieg des Boulder-Weltcups München 2013. Im Kino läuft es immer schon, also was soll's gar nicht. Ja, stimmt. Man denkt, wenn er vielleicht jetzt den neuen Batman spielt, was will man da machen? Ist auch schon ein Haufen Malz, oder? Ja, dann wird's halt romantisch, Batman.
Shauna Coxey still fighting here on A5.
So, konzentrieren wir uns wieder auf das Geschehen hier. Ali Melissa. Hi, Ali. Also Shauna Coxey, jetzt am letzten Boulder mittlerweile. Wie gesagt, ist jetzt auch ziemlich durchgerannt hier. Einmal durch den Jump machen.
Sort of one move away from the top here. This is looking good. 2 hands on. There it is. Shauna Coxey, who is now possibly leading the group. We're just waiting there. Cries of support for Aya Inoue. Could we be seeing her moving forward towards the finals again like we did in Innsbruck? Very young athlete, did exceptionally well over in Innsbruck. Yes, Shauna Coxey moves into the lead now on her group with 4 tops in 7 attempts. 5 bonuses as well, just ahead of Eula Worm. Markovic going for a one-handed dyno there, not even bothering with the pinch below the donut hold. That's the bonus on A4. What do you guys think of the blocks then? Are we liking them? As I said earlier, I quite like the sequencing on B4. The beta there is really funky, really nice little set of technical moves towards the top. Melanie Sandoz fighting for it now. Getting around those pyramids and then up to the top. Really nice little setup over there. A3 is relatively straightforward, but still very difficult to do. A2's got that really nice corner section once you've bridged and getting yourself wedged up in that corner before taking the top. A1, this really tricky slab that we've seen a load of, in fact I think every athlete struggle with. Over on the Bs, B3, we've got that nice moving in between the 2 pyramids on the right-hand side, getting your hands up onto the sloper before walking up on top of the orange. And a nice strong top there. B1, the arete. Nice easy start for the girls on B1. What are we thinking? Are we liking these? How do they compare to the men's? All routes here set by Mano Hassler and his team. Set for us also in Miol. Gave us that crazy final that we had there. Really difficult blocks. And we're seeing the same thing again here. Throwing even some curveballs into the qualification rounds. Anna Stor is already down in 5th place. Is she going to manage to hold on to that for the rest of the time here? Will she make semi-finals? That could be interesting. Cries of Gamba from the crowd over on A1. Our next athlete out then over on B1 at the moment is Megan Martin of the USA. top there for Monica Recchi. Germany still off to a very strong start. It's looking very secure that we will see both Recchi and Wurm through into the semi-finals at the present moment in time. Great start on their home turf here for Germany. Jule Wurm currently in second place. Monica Recchi is about to move up, possibly even into third, but at the moment she's in fourth. Mark Lenny getting involved on the chat then, saying great selection of boulders, lots of variety, excited to see what the climbers get to throw themselves at tomorrow. Great stuff, glad you enjoyed it, Mark. And yeah, Manu has a very interesting style of setting. They can be very, very tricksy and really bizarre in some cases, and then he can just pull out things that are sheer genius, like B4. I think that entire beater on B4 is just very odd and bizarre, but it's just really, really funky. You see Leah Crane just about to start on it now. She's trying to bypass it completely. She doesn't even want to go over to the pyramids. Garrett Garner-Wells saying nothing soothes a bruised ego like watching a climber who crushed you in a local comp compete in the IFSC WC. Let's go, Megan Martin. So our athletes out on the wall then at the moment. Over on B1, you can see there is no athlete there, which means that we have had Anna Tariffa withdraw from the competition. I'm sitting next to Mr. Graham Alderson that might be able to give us a little bit more enlightenment onto exactly what's going on with Anna. We were warned earlier that that might happen. She's not out now on B1, which means we're going to have a gap here moving along. Graham, talk to us a little bit about what's going on.
We weren't sure whether she was going to come out, so I guess she's now not. She tweaked an existing injury. She'd been injured previously, and the doctor had given her the old clear to go to the World Youth Championships in Canada last weekend. She'd obviously competed there, come back here, warmed up, and the injuries recurred. She'd been looked at by the two competition doctors, and I guess they've advised her not to climb. So it's an injury, not an accident. Yeah, it's a pre-existing thing.
Thanks, Graham. So yeah, that's what's going on over on B1. If you think Anna Tariffa might have just discovered the theory of invisibility, no, that's not happening. She has withdrawn from the competition due to a pre-existing injury that seems to be playing up again. An interesting chat to Shauna Coxey earlier today as well about one of her pre-existing injuries, and it wasn't actually with the leg. It's a knee, I think she was talking about a little bit earlier. It's causing her a bit of problems. A lot of these athletes end up with reoccurring injuries, so you just have to be very, very careful you don't end up in a lot of trouble with something like that. Hello again to Hasuras that's joining us on the YouTube at the moment, actually. Saying, I like the problems too. A1 is bugging me though. The top must be really bad because none of the girls is going for a more dynamic approach. I think a little jump with the left foot is the intended method here on A1. Well, that top, it's boxed at the top there, but I can tell you there are two very tiny pockets. I don't think, from here, it doesn't look like a dyno or any sort of jump is going to be the way to do it. It's looking like it needs to be a more static, slow approach to the top there. It's very much an accurate finish on A1. Tiny, tiny pockets with the fingers. Graham, what do you think?
Well, it looks as if they're trying to set a similar style of blocks as they did for the men. Because obviously, was it A on that side for the men also?
Yeah, that was A5 in the men's earlier.
A5, only one person did it, I think. And so far, only one of the women has done this, Anna. So, Galyamova. You look on the score, Anna Galyamova did it, according to the results I'm just looking at. So, yeah. One person did the gnarly slab for the men, one's done it for the women.
Very keen eyes, because I didn't spot that at all then. I'm looking around thinking, it's the problem when you've got 10 athletes in front of you at any one time, you often miss the most important things. So apparently at the moment Anna Galyamova has indeed topped A1. Now knocking Anna Stor down into 7th place. Very dangerous position for her to be in at this stage of the competition. So at present, yes, we have an athlete that has managed to do it, Anna Galyamova. I'd love to see it again, though. I'd love to see it done and the method that was used there. Graham, did you catch her actually doing it?
No, unfortunately I didn't, Dan. I just saw the score on the board. So, oh, that was close.
That was Graham just turning into a 60-year-old Yorkshire woman, if you missed that one. Ooh, that was close. That was indeed close. Trying to
and this is Dan reacting when I punch him in the leg.
Ow! There you are. That's ow. Right, that was actually close there for a moment. She had a hand up to it. Remember as well, I've just been reminded by God in the truck, just whispering down my ear, saying to me, remember as well, guys, you can rewind it on YouTube as well, so if you missed it, you can search back at any time you want and have a look at it back there as well. So John Stewart getting in touch saying, is Kim Yain competing in this comp? No, she's not, John. I was just having a chat to Graham and he said, I think she's taking a rest, and I've just reminded myself of a conversation I had with her after Imst as she was getting ready to leave with her brother. We were talking to them there and she said, yeah, she definitely needs some time to rest. In fact, it was her brother, Kim Jarbi, that said, yes, she needs time to rest. And so it looks like she's being told that she needs to take time off due to that knee injury at Miol. So Pers, I believe, will be her next World Cup, which she got coming up for you pretty soon. The rain is due in about 20 minutes here at the venue. We're apparently going to have a bit of a downpour. We should be okay where we are now. We're under this huge glass roof. It should all be A-okay. I'm under one of the only holes in the roof, though. Probably should have thought that through a little bit more. In fact, the only hole.
I think we did think it through, Dan, actually.
Leah Crane here, working the arete on B5. That's the bonus now. Matching. Ooh, just slipping down there. Possibly should have kept that hand on the arete for a little bit before getting a foot up there. Graham, I was looking at the method on A1 earlier, and I was thinking there was a possibility that they might match on the bonus hold and then try and lean out with a foot or something onto the side with a little bit of a bridge to help them get a little bit more below the top. Do you think that's a potential method or not?
Well, the last climber that we saw on there, the one that I went, ooh, that was close. And Elise, she did actually attempt to match that hold. I just caught that out the corner of our eye. Whether it did her any good, I don't know. But it wasn't the attempt where the sort of method that she used to try to get to the top.
Which she was close a minute ago.
Yeah, she actually tried it, and I think went back a bit and tried it in the same way that everybody else has. I mean, that's a very open corner, bridging into that corner. At speed, so to speak, would be really hard, I think.
It looked then as well like our Russian athlete that's currently out on that wall also, which is Katerina Andreeva. She went over with the left hand a moment ago, and she was really almost horizontal. She's now come back up to vertical, and she's going with the right instead, which is the method we've seen them using. So maybe it just is very counterintuitive there. It just doesn't feel right to do, although it might look right from where we are.
Slabs often don't feel right to do, ever, ever. Sometimes you're like, no, that can't be what you do. You just put your foot there, and wow, you do it.
Moving quite confidently up into the corner on A2 now as well. We have Yuka Kobayashi. Big jump and manages to get it. Nice top there, Yuka Kobayashi on A2. Anna Storr should be a little bit nervous right now, I think. She's currently, just having a little look at where we are. She's in 7th at the moment, but Yuka Kobayashi is already in 10th with no tops, and she's just got her top on A2. Things are now changing for Yuka as well. So yeah, Yuka Kobayashi is now in 8th place, already just below Anna Storr.
And by the look of it, we're looking at the scores there. Boulder 3 might be the easiest one. There's a lot more filled in green squares on Boulder 3. So if Yuka does that quickly, maybe she's going to knock Anna one further place down.
It's looking like on the other group then, B1 is looking like the easiest one for them as well over on the B group. Just keep you updated on that one. We're still with Andreeva here on A1. She's got 25 seconds here. You've got to take your time on this one. Turning out away from the wall, a good idea on the slab, Gray?
Yeah, it can be. You can get some weird balance points on the slab that you think won't work, but do.
Looks like she's going for one here as well then. Last 5 seconds, a quick attempt at it, and unfortunately no. So Michaela Tracy now comes out for Great Britain onto A1. Another interesting thing to bear in mind in the A group is that Olga Shalazhina is currently already in the semi-finals as well. Oh no, she's just dropped down to 11th as Vera Zalistra moves up into 10th place. But Olga Shalazhina still has 2 climbs yet to come. At present, the 10th place cut-off rests with Aya and Noe in Group B, with 2 tops in 4 attempts, 2 bonuses in 4. And Group 1 is Vera Zalistra with no tops and 3 bonuses in 3. Diane Merrick for Great Britain now on A3, the Claws. Now we've seen quite a lot of success here in the A group with A3. Also seen quite a lot of successes on A2 as well. Barra 4545 saying, was it my eyes fooling me, or did Storr just spend 7 to 8 tries on A5 and then give up before a time? He had an interesting run from Anna earlier. She's currently in 7th place in her group. Olga Shalazina, I think a tricky time of things over on A4 now. Diane there on A3. Just trying to campus there. She's got the arete that she can use as well. And she can get a heel up. Hope that she spots that. Over on B4 then, at the moment. So, yeah, B4 is Jana Sherishneva. And next to her on B3, we have Margot Pouchou. Michaela asking for an update on Anna Tarippa. Yeah, you'll see her name moving along at the top there. Unfortunately, Anna Tarippa has had to withdraw from the competition due to a twinge on a reoccurring injury. Earlier on today, she's been seen by some of the physicians here, and we didn't know whether she was going to be competing until her name was coming out. We were waiting to see whether she was going to go for it or whether she was going to withdraw, and it looks to be that she has unfortunately withdrawn. She hasn't injured herself here. She's had no accidents or anything. It's just a pre-existing injury that has caused a bit of a twinge for her here, and she's unfortunately withdrawn from the competition. So, time up, and we move on to the next set of athletes. Valerie Kramer, number 34, out now on B1, and on A1, in front of the home crowd, we are watching Friederike Petri of Germany. So it's been an interesting one already. Cécile Avezou here. Oh, just slipping commentator's curse. I'm sorry, Cécile. She's still got plenty of time though. Anna Storr still holding in 7th. Vera Zylstra very close to a bonus there. On A4 as well. Question in from Ben J16576. Just getting involved, saying, what company does the holds? They're great. They use quite a wide variety of different holds, actually. There's probably several different companies getting involved in sending the holds into us. I think that the flag holds are probably caught, you can see over on A4, but they'll use a wide range of different holds here at the comp level. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Kobayashi up with the right. A little bit temperamental there, yep, just slipping at the last moment. We've actually seen the best attempt, or the best method really, of getting up at that point is to go up with the left. Or what looked to be the easiest method. That might just be because Anna Storm makes things look easy. But she went up from that bottom claw up to that middle splat with the left hand first and then went up with the right. Here's Alicia with another attempt on A4. If you want to get in touch with us, guys, because some of you are quite quiet today, I'm a bit surprised. You can get in touch with us on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC. That's hashtag IFSCWC. Very good effort there from Federica Petri of Germany. Very nearly out of hand up towards the top. She's got 50 seconds to try it again. But do let us know who you're supporting, who you're cheering for. Silistra just not quite able to cling on to that bonus hold there. Jenny Levada over on B4 then. Lady Gecko. Moving very fast now. She knows she's got very little time left, 20 seconds all in all. Watching Akio Noguchi go through B4 was really, really nice to see. Unfortunately, Zilistra's just getting a bit too much of a swing out there to be able to hold on to that bonus hold. Time up, next set of athletes. Yeah, just looking at that first group then, the only athletes that have actually managed B4 are Akio Noguchi, Alex Puccio and Cecile Avezou. Every other athlete has struggled with B4. Our next athlete out then over on A1 at the moment is Berit Schrager for Austria. Over on, sorry, that's A1, yeah, and over on B1 for Great Britain, our next athlete there is Jill Peat. Starting over on B1, that's the easiest block that we've seen due to the stats so far in B group. At the moment, to get in to one of the groups, Anne-Marie Chevrier is in 10th place with 1 top in 4 attempts, 3 bonuses in 8. 1 top in 4 attempts, 3 bonuses in 8. And that is in A group. On B group, it's Jana Sherishneva. With 2 tops in 3, 2 bonuses in 3. And it is Anne-Laurie Chevrier in Group A. That's what you have to beat to make it through into the semi-finals tomorrow. Anna Storr still fighting her way through to the semis at present in 7th place in her group. So Emka Climbing is saying the German hold are from Skyroof. Thank you for that, Emka. a bit of an update for us. And Ben then asking whether the holds are commercially available or are they made specifically for the event. No, I believe they will be commercially available as well. There you are, Emka's helped you out with a link for the German hold there. If you type in Skyroof, you should be able to find any of their holds on there. If any of you do know the specifics of the holds, give it a shout out on the Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC. And we can help some of these guys if they're after some of these holds for their own gyms or climbing walls back at home. Vincent Thibault saying, what place does Anna have to be in order to reach the semi-finals? 10th. As long as she's 10th or higher, she makes it through into the semis. So because there are 2 groups here, we take the top 10 from each. That's how we make our 20 athletes, as there are 2 groups. So there are 27 female athletes in Group A. There are 28 female athletes in Group B. Still quite a few still yet to come. So quite a few still left to climb. And you have to be in 10th place or higher to make it through to the semi-finals. That makes up our 20th. Now, because of that, we can't rely on countback in the semi-finals if there are ties, which can provide a bit of a tricky situation for us. We'll wait and see. It should be all right. We shouldn't have too much of a problem. But just to let you know about that. And there you are. Emka has provided the links for you there as well, so you can have a look at some of the holds. Thank you very much, Emka Climbing. Still watching Diane Merrick here over on A4, going for the dyno now. Not quite enough height on this. That is actually one of the things I've seen Diane struggle with on more than one occasion. Dynos, the jumps. Never quite gets enough power out of her legs into the big jumps. These athletes have the odd weakness, the odd move that they just get stumbled with. Puccio had a couple, actually, run and jumps and slabs. I think she's done quite a bit of work on slabs recently, though, and she did a little bit of run and jump training. You don't always see run and jumps, but they do pop up from every now and then. Shout out to Lucas Gwenkins, who's joining us on Twitter. Shout out to Alexi Mentoten as well, who we spoke before. Say, just tuning into the women's qualifiers, and I'm cheering for everyone. I'm loving that. It's a really inclusive mantra. Thanks, Alexi. At the moment, then, our 10th place positions. Currently, Katarina Andreeva in 10th place with 1 top in 3 attempts, 2 bonuses in 2. That's in A group. Anna Storr still holding on in 7th place. But it is now Katarina Andreeva, 1 top in 3, that replaces our previous there, and it's Leah Crane on the other group with 3 tops in 10, 3 bonuses in 5. 3 tops in 10, bonuses in 5. And a nice top there on B5 for Jenny Lavada. Megan was looking pretty strong there for a moment on B4, managing to lever herself up into a good position to then strike left. Still 3 minutes. Last climb of today for Vera Zilistra over on A5. Hand up onto the bonus now. There's the foothold. This should be an easy finish for her from here. Now I think what she needs to do there is once she's got that Gaston on the bonus, she then needs to go up with the left hand and pinch that next one that's just being brushed now on A5, and then swing out and use the arête a little bit perhaps to get herself up towards the top. For Japan, over on B1 now, number 35 is Risa Ota. And over on A1, Magali Hayen for Belgium. Zilistra with another attempt, 1 minute 50 for these athletes. And as we know, what we're looking for is the most amount of tops in the least amount of attempts. Here is then Megan showing us this nice little beta section here on the upper half of B4. What a funky position to put the athletes in at that high point there. Really nice. Well, she's got that first section down. She's got 1 minute 25, more than enough time to push again. Megan needs to get back up on the wall there. She'll be amongst an elite group of athletes that have actually managed B4. Very nice here for Frederica Petri as well on A2. Got herself up into the corner, the crowd are behind her. 1 hand, 2 hands. Very nice, safe finish there. Hey, shout out to Vincent Thibault saying tuning in from Quebec City, Canada. We were there just recently. Not Quebec City, but Canada. It's a big place, I know. That was looking okay there for a moment over on A3. For Katerina Andreeva. And with 20 seconds, it's looking like Megan's going to have to be satisfied with the bonus here on B4, unless she can just machine her way through this section. We will wait and see. Well, she's made that. She's got 7 seconds left. This is going to have to be really, really quick. Aware of the buzzer as well. She's made it over to the next section, and she could have got a top there. She was going for it, and she knows that she can do it because she did it herself, but she's just done it within the time limit running out at the very end. Such a shame, but great effort there from Megan. Not many of our athletes have done before. That shows the standard that the US have sent over for us. Thank you very much, US. Marietta Akalski now out for Canada. Over on A1, over on B1, Jana Muller for Germany.
Somebody has some fans. And people everywhere. That's a great idea. So Danny Hook now 3 minutes left. So there's still enough time for at least 2 or 3 good attempts.
So someone was just asking on the YouTube feed, between the commentators and the crew and stuff, do we ever put money on which athletes will win? Yeah, we have friendly bets. We definitely have friendly bets on who we think is going to go through and who's going to secure it. At the moment, God in the truck, our producer here, has called it that Anna Storr will go through into the semi-finals in 10th place. Another interesting thing to bring to your attention as well then is that Mike thinks in the truck that Anna actually has a tactic in qualifications. Now, because the qualies are usually on the same day and then the semis and the finals on the same day as well in the bouldering, Mike's idea is that Anna always tries to qualify quite low. That means then that when we go to reverse order in the semi-finals, Anna is first out as we go in reverse order there, so she spends less time in isolation and gets a longer rest in between the semis and the finals. Bit of a controversial viewpoint there from Mike in the truck, but it's something that he's been noticing throughout the year, and that's what he thinks is happening with Anna. I'm assured by several other sources that that's not what's happening at all, but you know, I think it's a very interesting point. It's a very clever way of looking at things. You know, if she's that sure of her ability that she can rely on getting through, but not right at the very top of the pack, that gives her a vast advantage at the semi-finals and the final stage. She'll be one of the first out. Huge rest then in between the semis and the finals. What do you think of that? So yes, in answer to that question and a long-winded response, yes, we do have bets and chats with each other. Let us know what you think. DJs here are awesome, by the way, just to give you guys an update on that, and just in case you can't hear it, you're not paying attention to it. These guys were here last year in Munich, actively mixing throughout the semis and the finals, and they're just getting started. They really are great. They live and breathe music. They gave us a great show last year. They changed the tempo, the beat, which we've seen it being a really great thing at Loch Dragomere for a couple of years with the live band that turn up there. They pick up the pace when exciting things start to happen. We saw it in Kitzbühel as well with the music. And these two guys here were here last year in Munich. They're going to put on a good show for us again this year. Jack Shorten asking, what grades are we looking at for the problems the women are on now? A1 to 5, B1 to 5? Not entirely sure what grading system you're working on there. But it's an age-old question with bouldering, and we don't discuss it anymore. It has been outlawed. Because the competition has such a bizarre set of routes, they're always blocks, they're always very, very different, they're always quite odd. The route setters don't usually like to put a grading on them. They're all at least upwards of a V grade. You're looking at around a V8 and around that sort of level. In terms of the other grading system, like Fontainebleau, you're looking at around 7C and upwards. Sometimes around a 7A for the qualies, but it's not something that's really discussed anymore in bouldering. Jack, sorry. Because there's a lot of conjecture about people saying, oh, it's not that, it's this, it's not that, it's this, and it's just easier to say that the route setters now work on an easy, medium, and hard level, depending on whether they think the blocks are easy, medium, or hard. So yeah, I hope that gives you a vague answer to that question. Shout out from Alexi Mentoten saying, nicely done, Megan, shame the time ran out. Absolutely, it was a fantastic effort earlier on B4. She's on B5 now. Anna Storr has dropped down to 8th place. The pressure is on as our athletes move through this competition here. Ian Cole there just saying A4 with no dyno, smiley face. A4 is the one with the German holds, you can see in the bottom right there. I believe that would have been Katarina Andreeva then. Always nice to see a wide different variety of beta reading. These guys, nice effort there over on B4 now for France. Paris-Gibert. She's got 20 seconds to move through this latter section of the wall. Can she do it? Looking good at the moment. Oh, just falling at the last moment with the 5-second bleeps coming in. What a shame. Great effort though. 2 athletes now out for Canada. We have Thomasina Pigeon, and next to her we have Marietta Akalski over on A1 and A2. How's everyone doing? Who are we cheering for? And where are you joining us from? We're live from Munich here at the Olympic Stadium. It's built in 1972. The list of different concerts that have been performed here for music is quite impressive, actually. I'm going to give it to you now. Michael Jackson, Bon Jovi, Madonna, AC/DC, The Chili's, Metallica, Robbie Williams, Coldplay, Take That, Nickelback and Celine Dion have all hosted concerts here. 24/7's performed here as well. This is 24/7 back on a comeback tour this year. Sniper saying thanks from Las Miranda d'Ensulia to Paxi and Fixie in Paolo, Micronesia. Birthday wishes on the IFSC channel are the best. Happy birthday. And then Ben as well saying, after the athletes have completely gone through for the day, will the crew get a chance to try the routes themselves? Yes and no, really. I mean, for this stage, no, because the route setters will come in and reset all the blocks as soon as the athletes are finished here tonight. And that is route setting is such a tough job. These guys work through the night in a lot of circumstances to reset things and get things ready for the semis. And you know, they get about 3 hours, 4 hours in between the semis and the finals, where they have to reset everything again. They've already reset this wall once today from the men's into the women's. After the finals, if we're working late and we're around, there's an occasional time where we might try them, but we don't even get off the ground. They are so difficult. But we do see, I've seen a couple of athletes coming back as well the next day after the finals are finished. Athletes that don't necessarily get into the finals. If it's a wall that is permanent, I mean, these are mobile. Obviously, they get taken down at the end of this event. But for example, the one in Log Dragomir stays there year round, and so the routes are sometimes left up for other athletes and other people to come back once the competition is finished, unless obviously the route setters have to take some of the holds back with them. And I've seen certain climbing teams coming back. The Brits, I've seen a couple of times at Log Dragomir come back the next day and have a go at the final routes, blocks. And the Slovenians, obviously, on their home turf, get a chance to do it. Don Burns getting in touch, saying, has Shauna gone yet? Yes, she has, Dom. Unfortunately, you've missed her, but not to worry. You can rewind on the YouTube. You can go back towards the start. She was one of the very first out, Dom, and you can go back to the very beginning, and you can watch Shauna's climbs from earlier on today as well. Dominic Burns, becoming a well-known name on the climbing scene. Saw him at the British Bouldering Championships, and saw him just recently at the World Youth Championships as well. Anna Storch still in 8th place. 2 tops in 5 attempts, 5 bonuses in 18 is what you need to beat to get through. Which I suppose is relatively secure at this late stage in the day. Having the bonuses is going to help. And having those 2 tops being in 5 attempts, it means that to push her any further away, you have to do 2 of them in only 4. To try and take over that position. Oh, unfortunately a slip there for our Canadian athlete, Marietta Akowski. Daniel Taylor saying, I love watching the IFSC World Cups and I'd give anything to be that good at climbing one day. Who knows what the future holds? Go Shauna. Thanks, Dan. Nice to have you with us. I'm with you on that one as well. I'd give anything to be good at climbing one day as well. So with 3 seconds, our Italian athlete not quite managing to make it over on A5 there. We make another turnabout. And we have a German athlete now back out on A1. We are joined quite late on now. We're moving our way through these guys. It's Elma Bestvater for Germany and Victoria Klemm for Austria on B1. And yes, Ben, streaming from Perth, Western Australia. It is 12:11 a.m. and still going. Hardcore. Nice to have you with us. We've seen some really hardcore Aussies before in the past. When we get into the finals zone, at the moment it's 6:15 here, but when we have finals and it's 9:30, 10 o'clock in Europe, and the guys in Oz are still with us at 4 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully you're going to come back tomorrow and be one of them, Ben, yeah? Katerina Andreeva, her last climb of the day on A5 now. And she's already through into the semi-finals, at the moment anyway, with 1 top in 3 attempts, 3 bonuses in 3, Katerina Andreeva. Another top here could see her in an even better position. Moving her up to 9th. She's in 10th place. No change for Anna yet. And it is currently Shauna Coxey in first place with 4 tops in 7, 5 bonuses in 7 in that group. 2 tied second places between Petra Klingler and Jula Worm. Dinara Fakrudinova, our current lead European champion, out on B2 at the moment. Got the European Championship stage for bouldering coming up in Eindhoven for you over the next week. Federica Petri over on A4. Bizarre tactic here at this stage on A4. Where is she going to go from here? Using that, that lean out onto the bridge section there of the overhang on A3. It's just shot her sideways as opposed to up enough as she went for the dyno. 10th place in Group A is still with Cecile Avezu with 2 tops in 3. That's what you have to be in the A group to go through. Oh, sorry, the B group to go through, 2 tops in 3 attempts. The B group. In the A group, it's still Katerina Andreeva, who is still climbing. She's still over on A5. She's got 1 minute 15. Try and get to the top here. Are they going to give her that one? Oh no, they're not. Oh, there were 2 hands on it. She just lost her a footing at the last moment there. But the officials, I think, have said no to our athlete over on A2 at the moment. Yep, she's going again. It was Kezia Petras of the USA. Unfortunately, she's been made to go again. 30 seconds, and let's hope she can get there. Mr. Paula Schubert at this late stage of the game. Go for it again. Ben asking how the route set is selected and picked for World Cup events. Very interesting question, Ben. And I'll try and answer as best as I know to my knowledge, but I'll find out a little bit more about that as we move through the comp for you. If you promise to come back again tomorrow. I know that the chief route setters have a hand in choosing their team. So the chief route setters work with maybe 3, sometimes 2, sometimes 4 other route setters at the event. So the chief route setters have a bit of a say in who they work with, based on who they've worked with prior and whether they've got on well with whoever, and that they've having a good time of it, set a good event together. That they get involved with that one. I also know that when you first get involved in route setting, you have to, of course, have already done an event as a team member, not as a chief, for an IFSC event beforehand, before you're able to be picked as a chief for another one. So you have to have come and set on a team and been invited or selected by a chief route setter for that one as well. And I know that there's also a qualification that is often required for the route setters to take as well, with the setting guidelines. But somebody who might be able to give you a little bit more information is Graham Alderson. So let me see if I can grab him for a second. Graham's just having a think, and we'll hear from him for a moment. 3 German athletes then over on the B wall at the moment. You can see them along the top there. Jana Muller, Denise Pluck and Afra Honig all on B. And I'm going to pass you over to Graham to give you a bit of an explanation on the route setters. Here you are, Graham Alderson.
Hiya, Dan. Well, yeah, the route setting, to be an international route setter and a chief route setter at IFSC World Cup, first off, you have to be a national route setter. So you gain experience at the national level, setting at your national competitions, local competitions, and then your federation can send you on an international course. The international course is for all 3 disciplines, so you become qualified as a chief route setter for everything. You don't just become a boulder chief route setter, although of course people later specialise. So you go on your course, assuming that you pass, you then work as an aspirant route setter, which is sort of a trainee at a competition, so you gain experience. Then once you've been aspirant on all 3 disciplines, I think you have to do aspirant in each discipline twice. Obviously for speed it's a little bit less complicated, because all you need to do is put the holds into the predetermined hold places. But for lead and boulder, you have to work twice as an aspirant. And then if you're given a good report, you become qualified. You are then eligible as an international route setter. To become a chief route setter, you basically need a lot of experience. Working at World Cups, it's obviously a hard job to get into, because there's not that many competitions. you don't want a team of say 10 people, because then you have too many ideas, too many cooks spoil the broth kind of deal. So you have a limited number, so it's really hard to gain that experience. You have to work really hard, push yourself forward, be contacting the organisers, be contacting the chief route setters. So then you become eligible to be a chief route setter after, I don't know, 5 years of working really hard. So then the way it's done, before the appointments for each year are made, there is a seminar. To be considered to be a chief route setter, attendance at the seminar is compulsory. Because one of the things that quite a lot of people forget, including occasionally some of the chief route setters, is they have to have a working knowledge of a considerable number of rules. Yeah, well, obviously they don't need to know the rules about isolation and rankings, but the rules about start positions, all of this kind of thing, they need a very good working knowledge of that. Because sometimes they're involved in appeals. Sometimes we'll bring the chief route setter in and ask their opinion, particularly in lead about clipping holes. Is it possible to clip from that position where they're in a legitimate position? So yeah, they need to know about the rules. So they do the seminar, they also talk through at the seminar their latest ideas, you know, things like running drums, should we be using these, and generally exchange ideas, what they're up to. So then you've attended the seminar, you're eligible for the year, so then the official seminar send out the email, are you available for X, Y and Z? So for example, Manu might have said, no, I'm not available in May and June. So, you know, he's taken off consideration for that. So that process goes through. We see who's available for which competitions. And then there's also expenses and travel considerations. You're not generally going to send an Asian route setter to Europe and then next week send a European route setter to Asia. It costs a lot of money. So there's all of those sort of considerations. And then there might even be the odd geopolitical consideration. Not all countries get on with each other. I know that we don't have a North Korean federation, but it'd be impossible to send a South Korean chief route setter to North Korea. So that's the process. It's quite long and drawn out.
Thank you for that, Graham. Basically, in a nutshell, if you are just joining us, this is how to become a chief route setter, how to become a route setter in general. And the short answer is it takes a hell of a lot of hard work and it takes a really long time. So that's basically what you're looking at. If you want to get involved in setting, you have to be a national setter, and then you move forward into dealing with the IFSC, going on a course, then going to a seminar. It takes about between 2 and 5 years to get to the level where you're looking at being a chief setter. And then everything has to be right. To give you a rundown of some of the great setters we have, we talk about our great chiefs, our big captains, people like Jackie Godoff, Percy Bishton, Manu Hassler in bouldering. Then you've got Jan Zabranek and Adam Pustelnik in lead as well. These are names that we've seen time and time again. They're often reused.
I have a slightly different opinion about Percy, but not one that can be broadcast. For those that don't know, he's my business partner.
I'll find out about that later on, yeah, whatever opinion that is. So, that's a bit of a rundown. Hopefully, Ben, that answers your question on how they're chosen and how we end up with our route setters here at this level of event. So, we're still ploughing our way through this group of athletes then. We are currently over on B1 with Sylwia Buczek of Poland. After her, there are only 4 more athletes still to come out on each wall. And we'll start breaking it down then towards the end of today, wrapping things up with you. It's now 6:30 here. It's looking like we're going to be a little bit later than 7 finishing up. Dinara having a bit of an interesting time of things here. Over on B3. So Berit Schweiger of Austria is currently in 10th place in her group. It's the same group as Anna, so this is the A group. Berit Schweiger with 2 tops and 7 attempts, 4 bonuses in 14. Puts her in 10th place, and at the moment means that she's through into the semi-finals. We'll wait and see. On the other group then, Group B, Cécile Lavezou is currently holding the 10th place position with 2 tops in 3 attempts, 2 bonuses in 2. A few athletes not making it through here in that group. So top 10 from each make up our 20 athletes that go through to the semi-finals. We'll of course give you a rundown, and I'll keep you posted as that changes throughout the last few climbs as we move through today, if it does change. And then we'll give you a rundown towards the end of today. Of who has made it through before tomorrow, and you can of course keep yourself updated on the IFSC's homepage, and also using the Bouldering app, which can be downloaded for Android devices. Get your hands on that one as well. 3 Canadian athletes out on A1. I don't think I've ever seen that before at a bouldering event. How great is that? We see Thomasina pitching more often than not at lead. 3 on the wall at the same time. It's nice to see a larger contingent coming over from Canada. So on A1, at the moment, number 43 is Jalisa Dunbar of Canada. Only 2 more athletes after her, and then we're finished. We start to move and break down the wall. Over on B1, we have Natalie Bartschi of Switzerland. Okay, so got a bit of a treat for you at this late stage in the day. While we're waiting for the last of our athletes to come through, and we're moving through with these, the last of our Brits, Jill Peat now up on B5, 3 Canadian athletes up on the wall on A group. We've got a bit of a treat for you. Sitting next to me is Anna Stor. Anna, how are you doing?
Good question. I'm okay for now since I'm in 8th place, but ask me again when it comes finished.
You've had an amazing year this year, like an unstoppable year. You've come second once, and other than that, it's been gold medals all the way. Was it something that you were expecting at the start of the year? Were you in the right mindset? Were you determined to do that this year? Or has it been something that you've just sort of slowly begun to realize as you were going through the year that this kind of keeps happening? You're obviously on great form.
Well, of course, I didn't expect it at all. Before the first comp, it's always hard to say whether you're in shape or not. And after winning China, I was already really confident and happy about it. And then in France, I really had a good run too. I won this one, and actually each win I was a little surprised by it. And yeah, I just had a super good run, and yeah, it was an amazing season so far.
It's an incredible season so far. I mean, you've already secured the overall World Cup gold place, and not only have you secured it ahead of Akio Noguchi, which, although that you're both friends, is your main rival really in bouldering. She's the one, and you two have been battling it for that first place for quite a few years now. You're ahead of her by 200 points. You are so secure in the gold medal. It's unreal. You didn't even have to be here. You could have just turned up at the end and took your medal home. But at the moment, you're hoping. Just going to let I think Killian's just handing you back. At the moment, you're in 8th place, going through in. Oh, is it 9th now? Has it just changed? Oh, intense. Okay. At the moment, you're in 9th place in this grouping. How did you find the blocks today for you? Were they obviously you found it very tricky?
Yeah, obviously I had a hard time, and I didn't enjoy climbing as much. And it seems always if I don't enjoy climbing, I don't climb well. And this is exactly what happened today. I didn't have fun while being on the wall. I was just frustrated and a little mad at myself, of course, and at the boulders, and yeah, that's when I don't climb well, and that's what happened. And I would just really like to be in the semi-final tomorrow, because it's definitely special that I've already secured the title, but I would love to compete in front of this crowd and to take the chance to climb again tomorrow and then to take the overall medal.
The other thing as well is that the only time this year that you've not come first has been on your home turf, your very much home turf in Innsbruck, and the person that took it away from you was Jule Wurm here for the German Now, wouldn't it be brilliant if you had a run at being able to do the exact same thing in opposite at her in the final as well?
Well, of course it would be great, but I don't want to take it away from her either. I mean,
I'm being mean. I know I'm being mean, but I want to see some competition between you guys.
I guess the one who climbs best will win, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to get to climb tomorrow, so yeah, definitely.
But this is a great event year after year. I mean, with the roof above it, it's really funky. The DJs are always brilliant here, and the crowds are always massive. I mean, we had 6,000 people in what is quite a small space, really. Last year here, we're hoping for an even bigger crowd this year as well. In terms of the year that you've had so far, which was the best atmosphere from a crowd for you?
For me, it was definitely Innsbruck. I mean, the crowd is huge there. They're really loud, and since I am from Innsbruck, they're even louder when I climb, and I enjoy it a lot.
Does it help? Because I know a lot of athletes, I mean, I know you're one that definitely turns around to acknowledge the crowd. Even sometimes when you're on the wall, you'll stop on a move and turn around and go, come on, give me a bit more volume. But I know a lot of athletes tend to just zone out, and they don't even hear the music or the crowd behind them. It's a big help for you?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, if you know that the people are behind you, then yeah, for me it definitely helps, and I think most of the girls like it as well. You can just play with the crowd a little bit.
In terms of where you're going from here, are you heading over to the European Championships in Eindhoven to compete there?
Yeah, first I go back to Innsbruck, and then I'll fly from Innsbruck to Eindhoven.
More or less straight away? You're going to spend a few days getting ready in Eindhoven? Are you going more or less straight away after this comp?
No, we'll go back and prepare in Innsbruck. Like, there's only 2 more trainings, and then we'll head straight to Eindhoven. We have a night there, and then it's qualifiers. So not a lot of time.
And then you get the rest of the year to relax, really?
Yeah, I guess so.
Are you saying it like that because it's not relaxing at all? You end up doing a lot of training, right?
No, I mean, I've been outside now a lot too. Since the break was pretty long, I finished uni in June, and then I've been into to the Rocklands for 3.5 weeks, and that's been really good. So I'll just go outside once the season is finished, and yeah.
And last year you went to America, didn't you, at the end of the season? Have you got anything like far afield planned for this year?
No, last year I went to Australia, but this year I've already been to the Rocklands, so that was my further away trip. And since my school starts again in October, I have time in September, but yeah, in October I gotta be back in Innsbruck, and I'll make some smaller trips to Switzerland or France, or yeah, we'll see.
And what is it that you're studying at uni again?
English and sport, to be a teacher.
It always surprises me that you guys are all still like either in uni or something else, and that you're also managing your time between being a professional athlete with working at uni. Is that hard?
I mean, in Austria I'm pretty privileged because I can take my time studying. I can take as long as I want, basically, and that's what I do. I mean, I've been studying for 5 years already, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna speed up. So I take my time. I like to be in school for a little bit, and yeah.
Anna, thank you very much for talking to us. I hope that we see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thanks.
Thanks, Anna. There you are, a little bit of a late in the day treat for you. Really nice to be joined by Anna Storr, coming up just to say hello. So, she's in ninth. Still a few athletes yet to climb. Her score from earlier is 2 tops in 5 attempts, and I believe 4 bonuses, all in all. So that's the one to beat. The 10th place at present is a Katarina Andreeva with 2 tops in 6, 4 bonuses in 4. And yes, Anna Storr in 9th with 2 tops in 5, 5 bonuses in 18. So we wait and see. And I think you can tell by her reaction as well that it's not a tactical thing, where it doesn't seem to be a tactical thing. Coming low in the qualification round to come out first in the semi-finals. Mikey in the truck has just said it's just him being cynical, that's all it is. But great to hear from her at this late stage in the day. Not long left to go then. We're currently over on B1 with Lena Herman, and it's Alexandra Ladurna of Italy on A1. Still some athletes yet to come then at this stage, and then we start breaking down the wall. A shout out to Liam Lonsdale, saying supporting the GB team all the way from my hotel room in Vietnam. Surely that's worth a retweet and a shout out. Ah, go on then. Shout out to Liam. Thank you for joining us. You see still quite a few athletes yet to come. Jill Peat making it through at the present moment in time, knocking Cecilia Lavezou out. She's in 10th place, Jill Peat, at the moment. Bit of a scary place to be. She's in 10th place with 3 tops in 10 attempts, 3 bonuses in 7. It's looking relatively secure though there, because the next block after that is all 2 tops in B group. So that's quite okay at the moment. There's still quite an effort that you'd have to put in to knock her out. Anna still in 9th, and Katerina Andreeva holding the 10th place. 2 tops, 6 attempts, 4 bonuses in 4 on Group A. So that's what they've got to beat over on Group A. Hopefully you're all having a good time. Nice top there by Jana Muller on B5. Another switch then. Another German athlete out. The last climber, Munich of Germany, over on B1. No one out on A1. So there you are, moving right towards the end of the day then. Question as well here saying, do you know if there's any plans to come to Australia for a World Cup in the near future? All I can say for that one is that the way that it works is that you have to apply actually from the country. The federation has to get in touch with the IFSC and say we can hold this event, this is what we can offer and stuff, and at the start of the year they then decide whether they'll be visiting that country or not. Arastor is now in 10th place. 2 tops in 5 attempts, 5 bonuses in 18. Arastor in 10th place. It could possibly be that our overall World Cup champion for this year is not participating in even the semi-final stage of our event here. What a shock that will be. So we wait and see. So still watching these athletes over on the A wall now. There's 3 of them in the middle of the wall, still working at their problems. They've got 1 minute 10 left on the clock to try and get there. Bad news at the moment for Arastor. 2 tops in 5 attempts, 5 bonuses in 18. And at the moment it's Leah Crane in 10th place over in our other group. 3 tops in 10, 3 bonuses in 5, which knocks Jill Peat just out of the semis in 11th place. So Leah Crane at present for Great Britain is currently sitting in the 10th place position. "20 seconds left on the clock. Very, very nearly stuck that as well there. Alma Bestveter over on A4. Unfortunately couldn't quite hold it, and with 7 seconds she's calling it a day. Canadian athletes back out again then, and very quick to start over on A2 at the moment, which is here Holzmann of Germany. Down on the ground then after her first attempt. And this beginning procedure is not too bad. It's the point of getting across after that. We've seen a couple of athletes struggling with. Over on B5 now, Denise Pluck. Can she make this next move? Switching feet. To finish up her day here on B5. Nice finish. Evgenia Kazbekova for Ukraine over on B2 now, an athlete that could have the potential of moving through into the semis if she has a good run here. Nice lean out here over on A2. See in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, Patricia Holzmann working her way up. A2 now. Bridging in the corner. And just manages to hold it there. It's a big jump onto the top, but she gets it. Holzmann. Ukraine still holding on to the 10th place position in the other group with 3 tops in 10 attempts, 3 bonuses in 5. So tomorrow we'll be coming back to you. We're just working down the last few athletes now. Mona Kellner is the last one. She's climbing on B2 at the moment. Number 52, you can see her there for Germany. And these are the last few climbs today. We're going to finish with A before we finish with B. But yeah, we're working through the last few athletes. Now, after we've finished up these last few climbs, we're going to be saying goodnight to you all. And we'll be back with you at 11:20 local time to us here in Munich tomorrow morning for the semi-finals. The semi-finals due to start around about 11:30, and we'll come and say hello to you about 20 past in the morning before kicking things off with the semis. And of course we have the big final tomorrow night as well. So hopefully you guys can make it in for that. We're on A5 for Germany now. Westvetter, a hand on, and another. There's a top for her. The German crowd loving that one. Huge crowd here today. Very impressive. Compared to a lot of places on qualification day, and it can be very, very slow. The crowd's been fantastic. They've been with us since this morning, and they've stuck with us all the way through today. Sylvia Buksek working on B4 now for Poland. So on A3 is Patricia Holzmann. Hulsmann just topped A2 for Germany. She's topped A2 and she's now out on A3, which is statistically the easiest one in this group. Now she topped A2 in, I believe, 2 attempts. So all she has to do to make it through into the semi-finals and knock Anna Stöhr out is do either A3, A4 or A5 in a flash or 2 attempts. That's the way it's looking at the moment. So it's a bit of a risky position for Anna Stöhr to be in. I was just having a chat with Mike in the truck about what we think might happen from here. She's looking relatively secure at the moment, Anna Stöhr. We wait to see. And just for those of you that were interested in whether we call it at the beginning, Mike actually called Anna Stöhr would be in 10th place going through at the very beginning of today. So, I don't know, maybe I owe him something. Clap on the back. I don't know. Rub on the head. So Bharat is asking, is it definitely game over for Anna now, or is she still 10th and who can overtake her? So yeah, she's still 10th. It's not definitely over at the moment, as we were just saying. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hiya, Maya Mouse. Saying, I love the DJs. Yep, these guys are awesome. They were here last year. They're going to be here through to the finals as well. And Mike's giving you a shout out as well, Maya, saying, see you next week. I unfortunately won't be in Eindhoven. But the team will be to broadcast the Eindhoven Bouldering European Championships for you. Apparently there's going to be a local commentator for you there for that one. So there you go, something to look forward to.
Jetzt schauen wir mal, draußen regnet es jetzt. Das Olympiadach wird nass. Wird halten. Ja, halten uns auf jeden Fall. Nicht halten, meine ich. Also nicht statisch halten. So, Silvia, Trainer, auf geht's. Zur Reise wieder. Also vorletzte Runde für Alexander Ladona aus Italien und für die Olga Kulisch aus der Ukraine. Also wie gesagt, das provisorische Zwischenergebnis läuft hier auf der Videoleinwand.
So we've just been talking through the athletes that are currently here, still out on the wall, and the possibility that any of them would be able to best Anna Storr's score and get into the semi-finals. In general, we're talking about getting into the semi-finals, but we're interested to see whether our two 10th place position athletes have any threats at the moment. Now, for Anna, there's a possible threat from Patricia Holzmann of Germany, who still has, I believe, 2 more climbs yet to come. There could be a possibility of a threat. 2 tops for the next A4 and A5 from her, or 1 top and all the bonuses in less than 18 attempts. And it would have to be a flash as well. Could be a bit of a risk for Anna Storr there on that one. In the other group, on the other side, at the moment, we're looking on the other group, we're looking at Leah Crane, who's currently in 10th place position. She's going to be a little bit worried by now, at the moment, by our athlete is still on the wall. Is it Sylvia Buksek, I think, possibly, or Kazbekova, or Yevgenia Kazbekova. Is looking like the only one that can push her out, and to do that, she has to be able to do both the last boulders on in the B group, so B4 and B5. B4 has been a bit of a tricky one for the athletes. We have quite a few of them that have managed B5. But B4, there's not many athletes that have tried that one at all, but there's still a bit of a risk there in the other group as well. So there's a potential here for any of these athletes, well, a couple of these athletes, to be able to make the semis.
But Dan, you've got to remember that Evgenia Kazbekova is the daughter of Cedric Kazbekov, who's a World Cup winner, and Natalia Pilova, who's a World Cup winner. She's got good genes, so who knows?
And her climbing shorts aren't that bad either. She's been looking after all of those clothes. She's got them ironed and pressed, and no, I know what you're saying. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Is Evgenia Kazbekova going to be able to push her way into the semi-finals? Graham, what are you thinking? Are you thinking that the 10th place positions for these two sides are looking relatively safe at the moment, or do you think we could see some wild cards?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's a hard ask for number B4. Not many have done B4. So I think Leah is possibly the safer of the two, but I think maybe they are both safe.
Okay, so still a little while left to go, and you're already having a bit of excitement during the qualifications. What's going on here? It's possibly one of the best qualification rounds that we've seen, so that's a nice, exciting way to kick off Munich and end the season as well. So with 15 seconds left to go, there's a possibility here that Sylvia Buksek could make this. Oh, as soon as I say it, I'm going to have to just stop talking, aren't I? There she was, 1 move away from the top. So this is where it's going to get interesting. Here we are back with our next set of athletes, previous set of athletes, and the ones that could possibly be challenging our 2 10th place position athletes for a place in the semi-finals. Those athletes are Evgenia Kazbekova of the Ukraine over on B4 at the moment. Not that she knows that right now. And also Patricia Holzmann, who's currently out on A4. Keep your eyes on those two. So no flash on this one for Patricia. She should have put the foot up a little bit higher on that start hold, I believe. She went for it and then took the foot off and decided to go from a lower point, and it just didn't give her enough height. So no flash on this one, which means that she has to either top both problems or get the bonus here and also or flash A5. So there's still a risk here in this athlete. Got a hand onto it, and you were talking a little bit earlier, Ben, about whether we have in bets and things like that. Mike's getting pretty excited right now in the truck. Is it going to happen? Fabian Levia saying, watching from Chile, excellent competition, thanks for the live transmission. You're welcome, thank you for joining us all the way from Chile. Another attempt then from Patricia. And Yevgenia Kaspikova's back on the ground here on B4. And she stuck it. Patricia has stuck it, she's got the bonus. And that's a top. Now this is where it gets really exciting. Graham is, I think the whole crew here is getting a little bit worried. She's got 3 minutes now left to rest. So I think that was the third attempt. But we're gonna check it now. It could have been the fourth. We're gonna have a little look and see where that moves her up to. Now she'd already had those 2 attempts on A2 earlier on today. She has got every bonus so far though, I believe. Now this is risky for Anna. Yevgenia currently over on B4 for the Ukraine. She's got 2 minutes 15 left on the clock, and I'm being told already 2 falls on B4. So that's for Leah Crane to be worried about. 3 tops in 10 she has, 3 bonuses in 5. How great though that the last climber on the B group, and one of the last climbers in the last climber on both, Patricia Holzman as well. Both of those athletes challenging us, taking it right down to the line and pushing for a place in the semis. You don't often see that at all. So an update on Patricia Holzman then. She currently has 2 tops in 7 attempts and 4 bonuses in 9, which has put her in 11th place, and means that all that she has to do is top. If she tops on A5, then she'll go through. She won't go through with the bonuses because she has 2 tops in 7 attempts, whereas Anna has 2 tops in 5 attempts. So the bonuses won't just do it enough for her. She has to top on A5 and she'll go through. The attempts don't matter because Anna's only done 2 in 5. It's exciting, isn't it? I'm excited. I feel really bad for Anna though for having such a bad run on the last comp of the year. In fairness, she's had a fantastic run throughout, but here we are, Evgenia Kaspikova providing a bit of excitement now as well over on B4. Can she get a top here? Penultimate hold, foot across. Nice top. This is going to be exciting. Evgenia Kaspikova, a top there on B4. Here's an interesting fact for you as well. If Patricia does manage to do this last block, not only will she make the semi, she'll be in 8th place, ahead of Mina Markovic. So there's a bit of information for you as well. Right down to the line at the very last point here. So an update on Evgenia Kaspakova as well. At present, she has 2 in 8 and 2 in 8. So 2 tops in 8 attempts, 2 bonuses in 8 attempts. And Leah Crane has 3 tops in 10, 3 bonuses in 5, which means if it comes down to bonuses, it will go to Leah Crane and not Evgenia Kaspakova, meaning that on the next climb, Evgenia has to flash B5. If she comes out and flashes B5, she will be through to the semi-finals. So it's all down to the very first attempt for Evgenia. If she takes more than that, if she does it in 2 attempts, then by bonuses, it will be Leah Crane going through to the semi-finals. So bit of an update for you there on how that's looking. The rain's officially coming down here in the venue now. I'm getting a little bit wet.
Just to give you the right benefit for tomorrow on the international athletes, the isolation zone opens for the semi-finals at 9:30 and it closes at 10:30. So everybody who has made his or her way into the semi-finals, please make sure that you're in the isolation zone at 10:30. We start with the semi-finals at 11:30, which will last again half today for 2.5 hours. And then we will have a short break.
So we are 1 minute and 42 seconds away from the big slam down at the end of the day. Very exciting finish to our female qualifications here. Feeling a little bit like royalty at the moment over here because Mark, who's our technical official here from 24/7 TV, is currently now just holding a piece of plastic over my head to keep me dry. Manual labour this late stage of the day, it's great. I'm just going to go and give a palm leaf to Mike and get him to come out and fan me. He hasn't responded very well to that one. Okay, so Moritz Schnipp saying, come on, Patricia. Getting excited about that one. Nice over on B4 here now for Mona Kellner. And here it is, guys, the moment that you've been waiting for. Our Ukrainian athlete over on B5 now. She's got to flash this. If she can flash this, then she's in. And Leah Crane is out. Our German athlete now over on A5. At the present moment in time is Patricia Holzmann. If she can top this, then she is in. And Anna Storr is out. Talk about bringing it right down to the line. Excitement all round then. So quick to start here then, Patricia Holzmann. Got to make the most out of these 5 minutes. And over on B5 then Evgenia Kaspakova getting ready for her attempt at a flash on B5. An early fall there for Patricia Holzmann in the first attempt. Kasbakova. Don't worry, you're not missing anything at the moment over on A5. This has to be a flash, remember. At the moment, a little bit slippy here. And she's done it, she's done it. A flash, the Ukrainian athlete knocks out Leah Crane, the last athlete out in the qualifications, progresses to the semi-finals, although she probably doesn't know it yet. She's looking very calm. That flash at the end of the day has secured her a place in the semis, and Leah Crane is out. What a shock turnaround at this last few moments. 3 minutes left on the clock here for Patricia Holzman. Can she follow suit? Just cleaning a little bit there. The perch, when she starts. Bottom of A5. 2 minutes 50 left on the clock. Now, she probably doesn't know and is not aware that everything rides on this at the moment. The athletes can, when they're starting off around A1, A2, and when they're finishing off B4, B5, have a quick glance at the scoreboard there. We have seen some athletes earlier on today having a cheeky peek. But it doesn't look like Patricia knows at the moment. Now, if Anna is watching this or watching it in playback or anything, it's I'm sure she's biting her nails right now. Oh, down again here. This is to definitely make a name for yourself in climbing. The one that knocked out Anna Storr in the qualifying round. She might get hate mail. And she doesn't know it at the moment by the look of things, because she's got under 2 minutes now. She's got to move on this. If she wants to get there, she's got to keep trying her attempts. It's all or nothing for her here. Moving. Foot doesn't look too steady just yet. The crowd are right behind her. Oh, and a slip there. Just like to keep things really tense for everybody watching back home. 1 minute 20 left on the clock, and Patricia still going at it here. Fabian giving us a "you can do it." That's the minute. 1 minute left to go. Falling there as well. Got to get a move on here. Spending way too long on the ground. Down again, 33 seconds left now. It's looking like the position in the semis could be fairly safe for Anna Storr. 25 seconds left, down again. And Mike has just said down the radio, out of all 4 years that we've been webcasting this, we have never seen a qualification round that's like this. 5 seconds left to go, down to the last few seconds and the last climber, and that is it. Anna Storr makes the semi-finals by the skin of her teeth in 10th place. Leah Crane is unfortunately out. It is Evgenia Kasbakova who goes through. Let's have a look at our athletes for the semi-finals tomorrow. What a qualification round, guys. Thank you for sticking with us. What a way to start Munich and start off the end of our year. Very, very tense. Oh no, I do beg your pardon. We've cut away from our athletes a little bit too soon. We still have it's all the excitement of those two climbs. We still have Mona Kellner out on B5. So we're still with Mona Kellner here now as well. Barath saying weird, a German in Munich on All or Nothing, and the crowd is completely on their feet, or else the microphones aren't picking it up. No, the ambience still coming for you guys. I think they were just a little bit reserved at the end there. There's a possibility that a lot of them are public and might not know exactly that it was down to the line there for her. Quite a few of them near the wall did. You could hear them encouraging her when she wanted to call it a day at the end there to get back on quickly. And they were very, very loud earlier in the day when we had Eula Verm and Monica Recci going at it. And Fabienne just saying she gave it her best. Congratulations to Patricia. Yeah, absolutely. No shame at all in finishing just below Anna Stor in 11th place. No shame in that. Fantastic effort from that young athlete there. Mona Kellner still working away. 3 minutes left on the clock here.
Ja, morgen müssen wir uns alle hier wieder treffen. Ab 11:30 im Halbfinale.
2 minutes 40 left on the clock for Mona. Can she send us out on a high? 2 minutes 20. She unfortunately can't make it through into the semi-finals. She has no tops so far today, Mona. So even a top here would mean unfortunately not making it through to the semi-finals, but she's just fighting for her rankings here. So guys, how have you found this qualifications then? Are you saying like us, it's one of the most exciting ones we've seen? Right down onto the line. 50 seconds still left on the clock. Mona still fighting. And we do now have our top 10, and it's looking like a good one as well. One of the things worth mentioning, Aya Inoue of Japan, still competing on the youth circuit at the moment. We saw her at the World Youth Championships over in Canada last week, well, 3-4 days ago. And Aya Inoue, just very quietly, has just moved her way through this competition and ended up in 7th place after being one of the earliest to climb, just securing herself a place in the semis. Not a word said about her, not much of a word from me. She did it in 3 tops in 5 attempts, 3 bonuses in 5, and she's still on the World Youth Circuit as well. Very young. Another one that made it through into a final this year in Innsbruck. And also remember, jet lagged, probably, because both myself and Mike still are after getting back from Canada. We're exhausted. So fantastic performance there from Aya Inoue, and one to watch out for. She made a place in the finals in Innsbruck, and let's hope she can do it again here and go out with a bang in Munich. So that's it, guys. Let's have a look at our top 10 in each group. Alex Puccio, Akio Noguchi, Jenny Lavada, Melanie Sandoz, Melissa Leneve, Jana Cheryshneva, equal 7th for Aya Inoue and Dinara Fakhretdinova, and Katja Savine in 9th. What a brilliant top 9 to start things off. And then our 10th place now in this group goes to Yevgenia Kasnikova. We'll see that on the next page in a second with the amount that she managed there, with Leah Crane now down in 11th place, unfortunately, just missing out there on her place moving forward. Yevgenia Kasnikova, 3 tops in 9, 3 bonuses in 9, sees her through to the semis instead of Leah Crane. A shame to lose her at that late stage in the day, and I'm sure she's absolutely gutted. But great for that young Ukrainian athlete. Okay then, so over onto Group A. Shauna Coxey, Yula Wurm, Petra Klingler, Anna Galiamova, Monika Recci, Katarina Andreeva, Berit Schweiger, Mina Markovic and Yuka Kobayashi are our 9 here. Again, big names. And then, strangely enough, on the other page, at the very top of that one, it is Anna Storr, 10th place, just scraping it in, and actually last overall. If you look at Group B as well and compare it, the 10th place position in Group B was with 3 tops. So Anna Storr first out in the morning. That's right, the very start of the semi-finals tomorrow. We will have Anna Storr being the first athlete to compete here. Thank you very much for being with us all the way through today over here in Munich at the very last IFSC Bouldering World Cup of 2013. Things are just heating up here. We will be back with you live in the morning from 20 past 11 local time to us, Central European time. I've been Daniel Finn. Thank you very much for being with us. We will see you tomorrow.